Now, South Africa's Aspen Pharmacare is looking to China for growth. A near 2 billion rand deal sets the drug maker up to expand its footprint further into that region with the acquisition of a Swiss drug maker Sandos' Chinese subsidiary. Aspen Group's CFO Sean Capazorio joins us with more detail on the deal. Sean, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Good afternoon, Alatanda.
All right, Sean, it's a very interesting deal. We are seeing our player itself out here with Aspen and Sandoz. Just talk to us about the ins and outs and the assets that will be exchanged.
Yeah, it's a very exciting opportunity. I think we've been in China since 2015, 2016, so we've been in the market a long time. We've got our own structures there really with a big sales coverage, and we do see this as a growing market. So where the opportunity with Sandos came around, it was an opportunity for us to grow our footprint and get an access to their product pipeline, their product portfolio, and their expertise to get a stronger foothold in the Chinese market. So from that perspective, a very positive and exciting deal for Aspen. And for Sandos, they've as you know, they've just recently listed in Switzerland, and they've spun off from Novartis, and they're very strong in the developed market. So for them, it was an opportunity for them to get some of our products and be able to grow those in their European market, which is their stronghold. And obviously, it's part of China, it's part of our overall emerging market strategy, where we are very strong in all emerging markets, China, Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America. So it's really part of our whole emerging market strategy to grow in China, which we do see as a fast-growing market for the group.
It's interesting to hear Aspen bullish on EMs. Sean, let's talk about China as a market. Of course, the post-COVID-19 story, they're very uneven, but you are still a bullish on that environment. Just talk to us about Aspen's development there. You said you've been there from 2015, 2016, right up until this deal.
Yes, a nice story. So we took a view to invest in steriles quite some time ago, about 7 or 8 years ago. And we saw this as a niche area, and China was a very big sterile market. So in terms of acquisition, we invested in products that we purchased from AstraZeneca and from Glaxo at the time, and we used those as a beachhead into China. And in parallel to that, we also embarked on an insourcing of manufacturing strategy, where we were going to over time insource the manufacture of those products into our South African facilities. So that was really the start of the journey in China, and also the start of our sterile manufacturing journey for the broader group. And as we grew and got to know the market, we saw the dynamics in the market. And although China is growing slower than it used to, it's still growing more than 5% a year, which most global economies are not growing at that level at all. So for us, it's a fast-growing market, and we're excited to be able to leverage our current footprint with these new products and being able to grow from there.
I must ask you, Sean, about then the state of the balance sheet post this transaction. Are you still comfortable with cash balances and gearing, post this development?
Very, very comfortable. I think we like to operate in the 1.5 to 2.5 range from a leverage ratio perspective. In this deal, we're still comfortably within that range. So we do have headroom for other opportunities in the medium term. So from an overall debt perspective, we're very comfortable.
I must ask you about, Aspen's strategy overall. Of course, Aspen is a proudly South African company. This we're very certain of. But along with the pharmaceutical industry comes acquisitions and consolidation. It really is a huge characteristic of the sector globally. You have managed to diversify geographically. How has that benefited, Aspen, as we see global headwinds, throughout the world, really?
No, look, I think it's the old diversification theory. I think when one market's doing bad, so for example, we were invested in Russia, and obviously Russia went through the sort of degrowth phase post the war, but then markets like China and South Africa and Latin America grew. So with a diversified portfolio, you are able to manage those headwinds. And from a strategic perspective, because we've got a very strong foothold in these emerging markets, we're a very attractive partner for multinational pharma companies to partner with us in these markets where they rather want to focus on their developed markets. So Sandos is a good example. We've also done something similar in South Africa, where we've partnered with companies like Amgen and Lilly. Lilly is got one of the largest pipelines in the world, and they've given us the access to drive their products in the South African market and the South African market. So those type of opportunities only come when you have a strong emerging market footprint, which Aspen has developed over over its history. So a really good strategy and an exciting one to be able to partner with other global pharma.
Sean, I'm glad you mentioned South Africa. Your business here is a huge manufacturing capability. Let's talk about that, what you're hoping to derive from South Africa, considering how difficult it is to be a manufacturer in this environment.
Yeah, we are, as you said, I think you said it earlier on, we are very proudly South African company. This is where our roots are, and this is where we will always be. And we view our South African business as the real beachhead of our overall group business. From a manufacturing perspective, we've invested heavily over many years in our flagship facility in Quebec, both in the solid oral area, which is the tablets, and we were the pioneers in getting ARV and voluntary licenses for ARV back in the day, 2004. Our current strategy is very much focused towards sterile manufacturing, and we, as I mentioned earlier, we are insourcing a lot of the acquired anaesthetic portfolios that we bought many years ago into production in our Quebec facility, and that will come to full, I think, end state by 2026. So a really good opportunity to grow our South African volumes in the manufacturing space and deliver export revenue to the country.
And without too much more time, Sean, just sneaking one in here, any more acquisitions on the table for Aspen that we'll hear about maybe in 2024 and ahead?
Look, I think we're still looking at other opportunities in China, and we also, as I mentioned earlier, there's always exploring partnerships with the global multinational pharma. So those are areas that we've always got on our radar, and certainly everyone can watch the space as if we get some opportunity that makes sense and it's value accretive, we will then take advantage of that with the headroom that we've got on our balance sheet.
Fantastic.
So it is an exciting time ahead.
Thank you so much for speaking to us today, Sean, helping us unpack this deal. That was Aspen Group CFO Sean Capazorio.